from Adrian, but everyone else is still doing this, so okay, then we're on. Welcome to Vision, and we're so glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. If you're joining us online, welcome. We're so glad you've chosen to spend some time with us this morning. We're going to stand and celebrate and sing some affirmations.
Life of God, love is what I am. I am the life of God, love is what I am. The love that God is, I am. The love that God is, I am. Unbound, unlimited, and free. The life of God is life in me.
How about joy?
The joy that God is, I am. The joy that God is, I am. Unbound, unlimited, and free. The life of God is life in me. I am that I am. I am the life of God. Love is what I am. I am the life of God. Love is what I am. The love that God is, I am. The love that God is, I am. Unbound, unlimited, and free. The life of God is life in me. I am.
Oh, we can do better than that. Yeah. Good morning, Vision. How are you this morning? Vision at home, how are you doing? How is everybody? It started out really sunny. What happened? It got a little cloudy. Is there supposed to be rain today? Does anybody know? No? It doesn't call for it, huh? Well, whatever. Whatever it is, we know it's a God day, right? It's a God day. It's a good day. It's a God day. Before I go on, let's pray in. Giving great thanks for this day. I know it is a gift from God. I know it is the present. I know there is only one life. It is God's. It is whole and perfect and complete. It is the life we are living right now. In fact, God is living it through us, isn't it? Through us and as us in the world. And we know everything that God is flows through us. All of those qualities of God are qualities of us. They flow through us as we awaken, as we become aware, as we embody and demonstrate them. They flow through us into conditions around us, changing our lives, changing the lives of those around us, always for the better. God revealing itself as us through us. So I give thanks for this time we spend together, awakening to that, knowing it for ourselves and for each other. And so it is. Amen. We have a new month. Yay! I'm always excited. New month, new theme, you know that stuff. Well, it is Women's History Month. Yay! I don't know. Let's hear it for the Women's History Month. I want to should I tell you a few things about, let me do the vision stuff first, and then I will tell you about Women's History Month. We are here to come together to know of each other and to know of ourselves as that spirit, that divine that is expressing through us. And sometimes we forget, don't we? And we get caught up in the minutia of life. We get caught up in the details. And that is why you have a practitioner on speed dial, don't you? How many people have a practitioner on speed dial? Come on, raise your hands. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, do that. There's a list of practitioners in our bulletin. There's a list. You can find them on the website. Get a practitioner on speed dial. Call them up when you have temporarily forgotten things and have gotten caught up in the details and the conditions, and you forget temporarily the truth for yourself. That's what we're here to do. So there's a prayer request form in the bulletin. There's a prayer request form online. I'm sure there is. I know there is. Fill it out. Submit it to the practitioner corps. They will pray with you and for you. Leave your phone number on that prayer request form. They'll call you up. They'll pray with you over the phone. They will leave a prayer on your voicemail, which is awesome because you get to listen to it over and over, right? You get to replay it and replay it. It's wonderful. So do that. Do that, because what do we know, guys? What do we know? Prayer changes things. Absolutely. Prayer changes things because prayer changes us. We become those clear vessels through which Spirit can flow, changing conditions around us. So do that. Do that. What else do I want to tell you? Oh, I know. There's all kinds of things I want to tell you, but I think I'm going to go into the, well, yeah, we do. I'm going to do that last. I'm going to do that thing last. I'm going to do Women's History Month first. I think we need to talk about it. It's Women's History Month, and I want to tell you, I got a little brief synopsis on where it came from. It grew out of a week-long celebration of women's contributions to culture, history, and society, organized by the school district in Sonoma, California, 1978. Yay! So it seems like it was just yesterday, doesn't it? But it was a long time ago. Okay. Presentations were given at schools, and hundreds of students participated, and they did, research on their favorite women, all that kind of stuff. So a few years later, it caught on in communities around the country. And then in 1980, President Jimmy Carter, oh, don't we love Jimmy Carter? Him and his Habitat for Humanity, I love that. Okay, he issued the first presidential proclamation declaring the week of March 8th as National Women's History Week. U.S. Congress followed suit the following year, passing a resolution establishing a national celebration. And then 6 years later, the National Women's History Project successfully petitioned Congress to expand the event for the entire month of March. Yay! So here we are. Yay! And I have the opportunity to share with you, just like we did it in last month with African Americans history, we have an opportunity to do the same thing with women's history. So I'm going to share with you, spotlight, just for a few minutes, a woman in history you may or may not know, but was absolutely integral to the development of women's right to vote. Now, we all know Susan B. Anthony. I know you know all about that. You researched it and you read all about her. And excuse me, Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Sojourner Truth. But have you heard of Lucy Burns? See, anybody? Anybody at all? Lucy Burns? No. It took 72 years of marching and protesting and appealing to the government for the women's right to vote. And there was an uprising. Well, uprising is not the right word. What do I want to call it? There was a demonstration. There were women who marched on Washington, and they were really polite. It's very interesting. It's like the whole thing was so interesting to me. There were, American women were called suffragists. Remember that, because that's different from suffragettes. Right? And we have a tendency to make that synonymous, but it isn't. The suffragettes were British women who were way more radical and were insisting on getting women's right to vote in England, and they, in their radical behavior, would destroy property and burn things, and they thought that was the way to do it. But Alice Paul, who was a Quaker from New Jersey, said that in order for women to get the right to vote, there has to be peaceful means by which to do it. Lucy Burns was her assistant, was her right-hand woman. And so they called themselves the Silent Sentinels. Their entire group remained quiet, remained on the sidewalk, holding their signs outside to try to embarrass and shame President Wilson into supporting the cause. Now, the banners that said, "Mr. President, will you do nothing for women's suffrage?" and things like that, they were kind of polite. And they stood on the sidewalk, and they were quiet, and they never said a word, and they were arrested for blocking traffic. Now, how you can block traffic on the sidewalk, I'll never know. But they were arrested for blocking traffic. And they were arrested, and they were taken to a place called the Occoquan Workhouse, which was not in Washington, D.C., but in Virginia, where they were arrested and detained and kicked and choked and stripped naked and had their arms over their head chained to the bars of the prison. Kind of Abu Ghraib come to mind, doesn't it? Okay. And they were stabbed by the wooden stakes that they carried the protest signs in. And then when they went on hunger strikes, they were force-fed until they became violently ill. And Lucy Burns was one of those women. She endured all of that along with her fellow silent sentinels. When Alice Paul, who was the woman who was the head of it, was kept in Washington, D.C., they thought if they separated these women that it would destroy their organization. They were given food, finally, with worms in it, which they saved and then passed on to the warden of the prison. They were finally released, and then charges were dropped because they weren't blocking traffic on the sidewalk. And by early January 1918, Wilson expressed his support for the voting rights. June 4th, 1919, the Senate passed the amendment, which the House had passed 2 weeks earlier, and then Tennessee became the 36th state to ratify the amendment on August 18th, 1920. 8 days later, it became part of the U.S. Constitution, more than 7 decades after the first women's right to vote convention was held in Seneca, New York. 72 years, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever, ever, ever tell you this country gave women the right to vote. They took it. They fought for it. They worked for it. They suffered for it. They were tortured for it. Don't ever, ever, ever take your vote for granted. Vote every single time you're able to. Thank you. That's all I'm going to say about that. And next week, we're going to have another spotlight on another woman in history. I just thought we need to do this, right, for Women's History Month. There you go. So, gee, that's like gets you all energized, doesn't it? Anyway, now I want to tell you about the guest packets. We have guest packets that tell you all about vision as a spiritual center, knowing the truth for ourselves and each other. There's a saying on the front of it. We're going to say it together. We're going to remind ourselves. We're going to say it for our friends at home. We're going to say it for our friends in the room. You ready? You with me? Whoever you are and wherever you are welcome here. You are safe and you are loved. Just breathe that in. This is a safe space. And now I'm going to turn it over to our delightful celebration singers. You guys are awesome today. I was listening to you practice. Aren't they great? Oh my God. Yeah, so wonderful. And they're going to sing our centering song to prepare us for meditation.
I accept, I believe.
I'm one of the staff ministers here at Vision, and it's my honor to just join you in our meditation time right now. I will read today's quotes, and then we'll have 5 minutes of silence to be followed by an affirmative prayer. So I just invite you to just settle in, close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, and just take these words into your heart. Our first quote is from Rama's Nam. The urges to improve ourselves, to master our environment, to set our children on the best path possible, have been the fundamental driving forces of all human history. Without these urges to play God, the world as we know it wouldn't exist today. And from Ernest Holmes, creation is the play of life upon itself through divine self-imagination. Spirit must create in order to be expressed. Our memorial candle is burning this morning in memory of 3 dear souls who passed away recently. For Ron Young's mother, Gloria Maxine Young. For Zach Peterson's aunt, Cindy Reynolds. And for the longtime friend of Reverend Diane Russell and Brenda Nason, John Kern. And we hold these dear ones in our heart as they move on and up the eternal spiral of life. We know that their spirits continue on into new realms of life. New and wondrous life awaits. And we also know that the love and the wisdom and joy and peace that shone throughout their lives remains in the hearts and minds of all those who shared their lives with them. So may those memories of this truth of eternal life bring comfort to their family and friends today and in the days to come. And let us also hold in our hearts today the people of Ukraine and those in Russia. May they be safe and know peace in mind and body. And may all war, those within us and those outside in the world, may all wars cease. Because I know that we are only one. There is only one life, one love, one law. It's the life, the love, the law of Spirit, God, always moving into a greater expression of itself, a greater expression of its peace, of its love, and of its joy. It is the essence of all things, the divine life force that flows through every life, every relationship, every encounter. It is the play of life upon itself that we are all part. There is no place this life energy is not. And we are one with this energetic presence. It is our essence, our core. The peace, the love, the joy of God is our divine birthright. And it expresses in every aspect of our lives. I know this for me, just as I know this for each and every person listening to my words, no matter where they may be right now. The divine outpictures in wondrous, unique ways throughout each of us, through each of us, today and every day. Even beyond our understanding, there is a power and a potentiality. The highest possibilities are in play right now in our very lives. Love lights our way, filling each day with abundant blessings of love, of peace, and of boundless joy. And I know with this, every need is met. It is met and fulfilled. I know prosperity and abundant supply flows endlessly in and through each life to be joyfully shared just as it is received. I know our physical beings, our bodies, our minds, they're created in a pattern of wholeness. And so they naturally align with health and well-being. And knowing all this, it is easy to relax and rest in the arms of Spirit, open and receptive to that goodness, that love, that joy that bubbles up and overflows out into the world. I'm just so grateful for this truth, for this knowing, for this beautiful expression of the divine especially the expression of vision. So grateful for Reverend Patti and the music and each person participating here today. All is good. All is God. All is one. So knowing this, I release these words into the law, knowing it is complete and perfect, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
We have a special guest today. Every time she's here, she amazes us with her singing talent and songwriting talent. And she's written a couple really amazing songs for us and for everyone. Please welcome Kinnie Dye.
Hi. It's so nice to be here. I love it. All right. Ready? I'm ready. Lately I've been thinking of what I believe in. I don't know if what I think I know is true. I see the sky above me, I feel the earth on my feet, but everything in between's confused. When I question why, I lose my mind. It's like a piece of me has died. When I come running, will you still be there? Or did I take too long to move? You were always there with a song in the night that I didn't know I needed. What do I do to make my way back to you? Turned off the TV, started getting more sleep. Didn't want to bite, I hung the bottle up to dry. And spending more time alone, I stopped picking up the phone. Found a better way to pass the time. When my mind is clear, I can feel you near. How did we get here? Oh, when I come running, will you still be there? Or did I take too long to move? You were always there with a song in the night that I didn't know I needed. What do I do to make my way back to you? Ooh.
We are in a new month. This is March, and we have a new theme, right? Like we do remember, the themes are coordinated with the Science of Mind magazine. So if you're getting the Science of Mind magazine, these are the same themes that they use, we use. So this month's theme for March is Living Everyday Wonder. Remember, I said that theme is going to run through the whole year. Right? So we are living everyday wonder in January, living everyday wonder inner life last month. And so this month is living everyday wonder at play. At play. So I toyed with the idea of changing the theme for this month, considering what's going on in the world. Right now it doesn't feel very playful. But you know, thinking about it, I think about talking about God at play, which is today's talk. It's probably the best thing we can do right now, right? Because there is balance in the world. There has to be balance. Balance is a quality of God as well. So I just forged ahead with God at play. You think about the pandemic and climate change and plastic pollution and throw in the war on top of all of that. And we think, what's there to be playful about, really? But we can't be stuck in the 24-hour news cycle either, right? Balance is a quality of God, and we have to know that, like the yin and yang symbol, right? The darkness and the light, and there is light in the darkness, and there is darkness in the light, that there is a balance in the universe. And balance is a quality of God, and we can demonstrate that just like we can demonstrate anything else. And I'm not saying that we're here collectively to just put our heads in the sand and ignore what's going on around us. But we can be informed without being inundated. You know what I mean? We don't have to just absolutely immerse ourselves into the sadness of the world. We can know what's going on, and we can lean into those feelings. We can absolutely lean into the feelings of sadness and frustration about what's going on in the world and fear, right? And allow those feelings to inform us what we can do. What's our part in all of it? Maybe we are here to write letters. Maybe call up the lawmakers. Maybe donate money. We are here to allow what's going on to inform us as to what we can do. And in addition, to balance it. To balance the energy, right? With love, with some sort of joy, with some sort of play, with some fun in our lives, some light in the darkness. Ernest Holmes said this, and You Are Immortal Now. He said, growing old is refusing to grow every day and waiting until that final moment when we step into the larger life. We should be children playing on the shore of time. Isn't that a wonderful thought? We should be children playing on the shore of time. That's our job here, is to be at play. Right? Because we are spirit incarnated in form. We are that. There was a lovely quote, Jean, that you used this morning, Ernest Holmes' quote about the play of life upon itself. We are that. We are. Life is playing through us. We are the play of life upon itself. And play is creative, and it's creating, or co-creating, really, because play is creative. Don't you feel that? You feel your creative juices flowing when you play. And that's what we've come here to do. We've come here to create. We've come here to recreate, right, the creativeness of the Creator. Okay, so Spirit has incarnated itself as us. And because we have all of the qualities of God, we then create in our own lives, in the microcosm, what Spirit creates in the macrocosm. We reproduce that whole divine creative process. So we all come into life with the same stuff, don't we? All of the same ingredients, let's say, right? We have all come into physical form with the same ingredients. And then we are challenged as to what we're going to do with them. And we do what we do with them individually. What you do with your ingredients and what I do with my ingredients are different. But we all have those same qualities of God in us, just like we could all be given these same ingredients to cook something. And then it'll all come out different depending on what we do with the ingredients, right? But instead of flour and sugar and yeast and milk and butter, we have abundance and balance and beauty and freedom and joy and order. And what are we going to make from our ingredients? Because that's what we get. We get the building blocks. Very much like these, right? Building blocks. Yay. Like Legos. We get the building blocks. And we get to put them together exactly the way we want. And we get to create our lives. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. We get to create our lives uniquely, individually, like nobody else can, even though we all have the same ingredients. So what are you going to build? Right? What are you going to build with your ingredients, you know? I keep thinking, well, maybe something like this, maybe something sciencey. Hey, look, right? I'm looking at birds or trees. I'm like, I'm going to create something. I'm going to discover something. I am doing something with my ingredients that maybe nobody has done before. I can do that. Or maybe I'll do this instead, right? Yeah. Maybe I'll do something like this. We have the ability to make with our ingredients whatever we're going to make. What are you going to make with them? You know, that's the thing. We all get the same pieces. What are you going to make with your pieces? What are you going to play? Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "It is a happy talent to know how to play." And you know, from the Washington Post, this is wonderful. Some 12 million adult coloring books were sold in. You know, adult coloring books doesn't sound right. That's not really what I meant. What I meant. Okay, no, that's not really what I meant. What I meant was coloring books for adults, you know. Anyway, some 12 million coloring books for adults were sold in 2015, up from 1 million the year before. That's huge. That is huge. And the sale of colored pencils were up more than 26%. Kathleen Schmidt, the president of Running Press, said, "I've been in the business for 20 years. I've never seen anything like this." Right? Now, sales has fallen off a little bit since 2015, but then it shot up again. Why? The last 2 years for the pandemic. Exactly. Because for us, it's sort of like a digital detox, you know. We get off Zoom, we get off Facebook, we get off the computer, we can sit there and we can create. It's fun. It's fun. It's like for no other reason, but it's just fun. And we don't have enough of that. Roger Van Ork said, "Being foolish is a form of play. If necessity is the mother of invention, then play is its father. When faced with a problem, let yourself play. Let yourself play. Risk being foolish and write down the ideas that come to you." This is what we're here to do. We're here to create. And you know, companies are doing this now, right? Companies are now understanding the value of unstructured time, of playtime, if you will, right? As a form of creativity. It stimulates the thinking when they get together in meetings and things. It stimulates the thinking outside the box. They're actually boxless. There is no box. They threw the box away, right? And it stimulates that creativity, and creativity it expands. Game playing, unstructured time, the 20% rule at Google. I know they're having their problems right now, but that was a great idea that they have. This 20%, you know, of your week should be spent in an outside project that you're passionate about, right? So that means 1 day out of 5, you're working for your own stuff, your own satisfaction, your own passion. All ways of promoting our creativity through this freedom of thought, because we know that we are creative beings. We were made in the image and after the likeness of the Creator. So we create our lives very much the same way Spirit has created everything in the universe. We use the same divine creative process, so of course we are creative beings. And play is what makes us even more creative, makes us think uniquely, just as we are. Did you know? I love this. John Adams, George Washington, and Thomas Jefferson were avid marble players and collectors. Could you picture the founding fathers on their knees, you know, just like shooting cat's eyes? Okay. They were avid marble players. And you know what John Tyler was doing when he was informed William Henry Harrison had died? which made Tyler the president? Yeah, he was playing marbles. He was on his knees in his house playing marbles. Play has been shown to increase the endorphins, to improve brain functionality, and to stimulate creativity. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to create. And if you haven't noticed, I keep coming back to the creative word, right? Because that's really what we're here to do. We are creative beings. We are spirit in form. Play enlarges our ideas of what's possible. Remember when you were a little kid and you can dream up all kinds of things that were impossible that were possible in your world, right? Expanding our creativity. John Patrick Shaney, he was a playwright, and he said, I picture each day as if it were a happy dog looking at me. I may not be in the mood, but the dog always wants to play. Trust the dog. Trust the dog, right? Our creativity, those creative juices flow when we're having fun, when we're playing. Stress and pressure does not bring out our possibilities. You see all people around the room, right, in a meeting. You got to do this, and you got to do it now. Quick, you only have 10 minutes. Come up with something. And you're like, no, you get frozen in place. Stress doesn't create creativity. Play enlarges, expands our consciousness and our creativity. And it can help us feel young and energetic. Studies show even that play improves memory. How many memory games do we play, right? There are all kinds of memory games. Play improves our memory. It stimulates the growth in the cerebral cortex, which is kind of important. You need that, right? You need that one. Play has also been known to trigger a secretion of BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor, which is a substance that is essential to brain cell repair and growth. So that's really what we're here to do. I mean, it's all natural. Play is healthy for our minds and for our bodies. We play at life, or we should. We should play at life. We should play at work. We should play in our relationships. We can play at all of it. And the more we play, the more creative we can become. See how that works? Because it just expands our ideas, our consciousness of what's possible. Ernest Holmes said, religious science defines creation as giving form to the substance of mind. The whole action of spirit must be within itself, upon itself, right? There's nothing else for anything to be made out of. Creation is the play of life upon itself, just like Reverend Jean said. The action of a limitless imagination upon an infinite law. A limitless imagination. How much are we using, right? A limitless imagination upon an infinite law. This is amazing, right? Play is so important to us. It is important to our ability to imagine and then create a life larger than anything we've ever known. Willie Stargell. Anybody know Willie Stargell? Does anybody remember? Any baseball guys out there? Okay. 1979, Willie Stargell was being interviewed by a reporter. If you don't remember him, he was the captain and first baseman, I think, of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Anyway, the reporter said, Willie, how do you do it? Right? Because he was over 38 years old, which I guess in baseball age is old. Well, maybe at that time it was old. Anyway, still leading the team to the World Series. And Willie said, we, the team, we listen to the umpire. And the reporter said, what do you mean? And he said, well, when the Star-Spangled Banner ends, what's the first thing the umpire says? Play ball. That's right. Play ball. We don't work ball. We play ball. And that's what he attributed to his longevity. Absolutely. We play at life. We play at life. Doesn't that sound so much better than working on yourself? Aren't you tired of working on yourself? Oh my God, we always talk about the work that needs to be done. We're on the spiritual path, and this is your work, and this. I was like, oh, come on, can we have a little fun? Yeah, we can. We can play. We can play. Stuart Brown has been studying play for decades. Decades. And he even wrote a book about it, Play. That's easy. Anyway, he outlines the 5 archetypal play that we do. And you know what he said? This is very interesting. In that book, Play, he said, the opposite of play is not work. The opposite of play is depression. Anyway, he said, there are five different ways we can play as adults. One is rough and tumble play. We know that one. Kind of flag football, the cursed dodgeball. Anybody was a target in dodgeball? Look at everybody. We all were, you know. Dodgeball, King of the Hill, tug of war, those kinds of things. Tag, you're it. Right? You know? Rough and tumble play is part of what we do. And if done correctly, like with proper supervision, not having all the teacher's aides standing in the corner just like talking to each other while we got killed with the big red ball. When done appropriately, it teaches natural aggression to be controlled, right? To dial it back. What's acceptable, what's not acceptable in group play. There is ritual play. I love this, ritual play. Chess, board games, where we come together and do things. Even video games, if you have 2 or 3 or more players coming together. It's organized and it has rules, but it's very creative. Then there's imaginative play. This goes back to the coloring books. Right? Imaginative play. We get to color outside the line. We get to pick whatever color. We can make, cows purple and, all kinds of things, and horses yellow and whatever. It's imaginative play. Storytelling, painting, drawing, crafting, acting, improv. Ooh, improv. We should do improv here, right? Wouldn't that be fun? Imaginative play. Let your imagination go wild. Anything is possible. It's about as creative, as you can get. Then there's body play. I love this. I love body play. Body play is trying to get out of gravity. That's really what we're doing. We're trying to get out of the effect of gravity. Jumping, roller coasters, white water rafting, right? Rock climbing, hiking, surfing, snorkeling. We're trying to eliminate the effects of gravity. You want to laugh? You want to lighten your mood? Watch one of those videos of those baby goats jumping, right? You've seen them, right? They jump and they jump and they jump and they bounce and they look like they're defying gravity. How fun is that? Parachuting, paragliding, all of those kinds of body play where we defy gravity. Absolutely. And then the 5th one is object play, which kind of brings us back to the Legos, right? Brings us back to the Legos. Object play, snow forts, wooden blocks. How about those blanket fortresses in your living room, right? Come on, we all did that as kids, the blanket fortresses. Play can result in improved cognitive functioning, being able to deal with stress with greater ease and fluidity, creative thinking, and I keep going back to that word, creativity, right? Creative thinking, childlike exuberance, and laughing more often. Couldn't you use a little more laughter in your life? Laughter. It's back to creative thinking. Play enables us to expand, enlarge, and place no limits on our ability to manifest. Right? When we're thinking way outside the box, when we're thinking boxless, imagine the things that you can create and manifest in your life. Play shows us that. Play shows us how expansive our imaginations can be. We are God at play, right? The name of this talk, God at play. We are that. Spirit has incarnated as us. So we are God at play. Reenacting, co-creating the whole spectrum of manifestations of our world, just like God did it universally. We are co-creating using the same power and presence that God created the entire universe. We are co-creating our world. So it is limitless. The thoughts that become our creative minds, that become the outpicturings of our lives. It is limitless, limitless. God at play. You don't think God plays? Look at a platypus. Come on, God plays. God has a sense of humor. Oh, look, it's a mammal, but it lays eggs. What? What is going on here, right? It's got a bill, but it's not a waterfowl. Come on. God plays a lot. God is having way too much fun at our expense sometimes, right? Globally, there are 5.5 million insect species. Species, not insects. 5.5 million insect species. There's over 1 million beetle species alone. Ew, creepy crawly. Doesn't that make you itch? Okay. Over almost 400,000 plant species known. This is infinite creativity. There's over 5 million different species of fungus. Just really wanted to know that, right? Oh man, I watched a documentary the other day on slime mold. Oh my God. It's brilliant. Slime mold is brilliant. I had no idea it could learn. It absolutely learns, and it can grow in particular directions depending on what you feed it. It's just amazing stuff. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject. I think about this world teeming with life, with this individuality, with this uniqueness, with the variety is just endless. That's creativity. And that's what we have within us. It's the same creativity. We're using the same law to create in our lives what the universe has created and continues to create, right? Because spirit continues to create. Absorb old creations, create new things. It is forever. It's a dynamic process. It is forever creating. So are we. So are we. What are we creating in our lives? When we get in touch with that play, when we get in touch with the laughter, with the expansiveness of fun and joy, our ability to create is limitless. Ernest Holmes said this. Today I enter into the limitless variations that the divine spirit has projected into my experience. I know all things are good when rightly used. I perceive that all experience is a play of life upon itself. I enter into the game of life then, the game of living, with joyful anticipation, with spontaneous enthusiasm, and with the determination to play the game well and to enjoy it. Today I enter into my divine inheritance. I have shaken my thought loose from the belief that external conditions are imposed upon me at birth through inherited tendencies or human race belief. I proclaim the freedom of my divine legacy of love and abundance, peace and joy. I possess the kingdom of good today in all of its fullness. Thank you.
On this day, your heart breaks a little for the peace that will always be his. And on this day, your souls are connected by a channel of love that freely flows and gives. On this day, we gather around you. All our hearts have been touched by your love. And on this day, we vow to support you as you are and all you will strengthened with the distance of cities so far. Now may your home, may it always be together. May your nights be full of shooting stars. Your love is sweeter than the flowers for the honeybees. Your love is brighter than the sun shining off the deep blue sea. You formed a bond thicker than blood. You, my friends, you are love. May you remember this day in a way that brings you joy. We raise our glasses and we cheers. Here's to you, now make some noise. Your love is sweeter than the flowers for the honeybees. Your love is brighter than the sun shining off the deep blue sea. You formed a bond bigger than blood. You, my friends, you are love. Your love is sweeter than the flowers for the honeybees. Your love is brighter than the sun shining off the deep blue sea. You formed a bond bigger than blood. You, my friends, you are love. You, my friends, you are love. You, my friends, you are love.
That's lovely. I love it. We are love. We are love. Now it's time for our divine conscious circulation. Yeah, throw the divine in. Why not, right? Because we are one. We are just passing our good along and circulating it, and it comes back around to us. So if you are choosing to give today, thank you so much for your support. And the Core Council thanks you as well. And please just bring that into our consciousness right here, right now, knowing that our good is our God is our good, that divine circulation is limitless as well as joy and love and peace and power. They are all limitless. We know abundance is as we go within and just know the qualities of God are qualities of us and that they flow through us. And as we awaken to them, we see them all around us even more and more. And we grow in that consciousness of abundance, that consciousness of joy, that consciousness of love that allows us to experience the good at even greater and greater and greater amounts and expressions. And so I give thanks for all of this. I know it is all God. I know it is all good. And so it is.
My good and boundless demonstration. all-sufficient source within me. I'm grateful, so thankful. I'm grateful, so thankful. I'm grateful.
Great. We just love that song. So now it's time for the Miracle Minute. I know I have one. La, 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 la. There are a couple, actually, and I was like so glad to get them. So thank you for emailing me. And when that demonstration of answer prayer, just dash me off a couple of lines. This one comes to us from Joy. She said she submitted a prayer request. She'd had her relationship with her son was kind of estranged, and she wasn't really communicating with he wasn't communicating with her. And she asked if she could resume maybe family dinners with him. And the answer she got was, yeah, we can do that. So that's like, it's the crack in the door, this little willingness. So, okay, she hasn't gotten a time and a date yet, but the response was a little positive, so that's good. When we just keep praying, right? We just keep praying, so I love that. Yeah, yay. This one came in from Catherine. She had submitted a prayer request for the illusion of cancer to be removed from two friends of hers, and both reported their test results as negative. Yay. So that's also part of our Miracle Minute. And this from Lori and Cliff, that her sister and brother-in-law went back to Duke for an appointment with the oncologist, and he specializes in bladder cancer, and they studied his PET scan and said that there was no visible signs of cancer anymore. Yay. So there you go. There you go. So demonstrations of answered prayer, how conditions around us change because why? Because prayer changes things. It absolutely does. And now it's time, what?
I just have to say, for those even who are at
You can't, yeah, they can't hear you.
that's okay. John was out there defending us this morning, Barbara. We have a new church out there.
Oh, is that what that's about?
All the parking everywhere, and John was out there
Defending our space? Well, and that's a wonderful segue to The Last Word by Johnny Kirko.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the defender now. I got a cape on. I'm going to be out there every week. In tights, no. Damn, you guys are sick. Anyway, virtual meet and greet right after our celebration. Join us for some prayer work, also to get together with our group. So welcome online and be a part of that. We'd like to say hello to you. Coffee Connection continues 8:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. Join us for that little group who gets together, says hello. We've got a couple of wonderful things by LaTanya in this month. The first one, she's doing the Balancing the 7 Chakras workshop. It's going to be on March 21st, which is a Monday from 6:30 to 8:15. So there's information on the web, also in the emails that I'm sending out to you. So check that out. Also, she's got a book study coming up called It's All About Love. And it's going to be from Tuesday evenings on March 22nd through April 19th. So join Hummingbird for that. As we go down this, I'll have her come up next week and we'll talk a little bit more about it in depth. But go to the website and click on the links and you can join us for each one of those events. Next week, Reverend Patti Parris will be back. Her talk title is Light and Happy. Light and Happy, that's what we are, light and happy, huh? Yeah. And we have Shayna Pugh with us, and the house band will be here, so good stuff. How about Miss Kinnie died today? She has got one of the most powerful voices that we have come through this. I just love your voice, Kinnie. You are amazing. And she's got CDs available, everybody, over on the tables over there. So if you want to get one of those, support Kinnie in that. Love her. Can't wait to have you back again. Speaking of singing, it's choir time again, guys. So join us. So a week from Tuesday night, we will be having our choir practicing. So get together and join us. If you guys have wanted to sing, even if you're not the greatest singer in the world, we can drown you out. But you can come and be a part of a great group of people. We love to sing. It's really fantastic stuff. Join us for that, led by the magnificent James Vandenberg. So I got to tell you, what he does behind the scenes is unbelievable. He really puts together our CDs. He puts music together for us. He makes it easy for you. So really, really join us for that. So thanks, James. This is the beginning of the week of March, so join and stand up if your birthday's this month. March birthdays. Not a Martha. No, a hummingbird. And Barbara. Happy birthday to you. Barbara, happy birthday this month, and hummingbird. And Larry, we got some cake, huh?
We have some cake.
Yeah, what kind of cake we got, Larry?
What kind do you think we have? There you go.
It's a chocolate cake. Chocolate cake, and it's got green frosting. That's right. And St. Patrick's Day, it's where I'm wearing green too, you know. It's a vision color too. And you know, and so thank you very much for that, Larry. And anybody who is missing cake, Vision is the place to come. 15 years ago, my hips weren't as big. They're gotten all, and my butt is bigger too. Mark, do you want to talk a little bit about the concert this week? It's Thursday, Saturday. I know you're not working it, but you can say something for us.
So we have Bodhi Tree concerts. They're friends of mine. They're 10 years into doing concerts. They're two lovely people who, actually Diana was a stage manager at Lincoln Center. She was Beverly Sills' assistant for quite a while when Beverly would be the host. And she moved back to San Diego, anyway, with her husband, Walter, and they have Bodhi Tree concerts, and they've given away, they work for free, they give everything away. They've given $150,000 to charities, and it's a benefit concert. I'm not sure who the benefiter is, but it's Victoria Mature. Her father is Victor Mature, the great, incredible actor, like Samson and Delilah. And actually in The Robe, he's the soldier at the foot of the cross who gets the robe. Her father was an opera singer in Chicago, and he also was a big film noir star, like black and white mystery movies. He sang many songs in his performances over the years, and she's singing duets live here. She got some fancy video guy to do this, to do edits and stuff for her. So she's going to actually sing duets with her father here, and that's next Saturday, the 12th.
This Saturday night.
Yeah, and it's always for a great cause. And we're talking with them about doing a benefit for Ukraine here on March 27th too.
Yep.
Yep.
So doing all kinds of stuff. This is not going to be streamed. It's only in the room here, so you can't watch it online. So you got to come and be a part of that. It's going to be a full house. Join us for that. Tickets are available at the BodhiTreeConcert.org, I think it is. Check it out. Love you guys. See ya.
And we are going to stand up and we're going to say our affirmations. They're on the front part of your bulletin. They're on the big screen behind me, maybe. There they are. Yay! And you at home, I want you to stand up too and just join us in energy. You ready? Today is the perfect day to be happy. I am present, playful, and powerful. All I need flows through me now. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, we're gonna say both of them. You ready? Today is the perfect day to be happy. I am present, playful, and powerful. Sounds so good. Going within one last time, knowing that God is all there is. We are those individualizations of spirit. We are those unique threads in the tapestry of all life. We know and accept that whatever we believe God to be, all of those qualities that God is, we know flow through us as well. We are the outpicturing of the one life, and as such, we know that there is only one life, individualized but not individual. We know that we are one. We are all God in form, and so it is.
There is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, together all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. day. Let this be my joyful vow.